After almost a week-long hiatus, we were back at it in the garden, and I was a little frustrated last time. I couldn't get the garden raked. And then I remembered I have this tool that is currently hiding in a pile of bushes, so I need to take a second so I can work up the courage to actually go in there. Probably need to angle my mic better. Hopefully that's better. We're still in the saga of trying to figure out this new microphone, but my video did go up today, and overall, well, not overall, everybody said they liked the new mic. So I guess it was just me being weird about it. I gotta make sure there's no snakes in here, you guys. I'm terrified of snakes. I remembered that I have this handy little tool. How am I gonna get this on my shoulder? This is a mystery. Without cutting my leg off. Broad fork. We're gonna broad fork it to loosen up the soil. And then after that, we should have no issues with something, soil compaction, at least enough to be able to rake it. I'm very excited because hubby has been doing and Malachi too, but mostly hubby has been doing a phenomenal job of keeping the garden area weed whacked down for the most part. This guy is doing great. As expected though, because of my inability to properly fill that bed, the weeds are coming. It took a long time though. I'm guessing it just took a long time to grow from the base. Freaking bugs. Oh, they're producing scapes. I thought I had all soft necks, but this one variety is producing scapes. So excited. I'm gonna have to clip those and ferment some garlic scapes. And let me get you up on the tripod. Cicadas are the weirdest sounding thing. Like sometimes they're just like in symphony, and then sometimes it almost sounds like a motor where it's like surging, and not like a car motor. It's hard to explain. Sometimes they sound like a weed whacker, sometimes they're just in complete sync, and sometimes they're not. I know you can't hear that, but it's just like a constant symphony around me. We're gonna go ahead and we are gonna broad fork this bad boy, and hopefully that will help us be able to kind of rake it out and make it more even. So that's what I'm about to do. We'll see how successful I am at it, because we're supposed to get some rain here in, oh sweet, that was just a really early warning. It's supposed to start raining at around 1 a.m. So we should be good for the rest of the day. We got a nice cloud cover that's making it be not quite so miserable. So I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully I'll be able to last a little bit longer than an hour. It's still hot, it's 81 degrees and incredibly humid. So I don't know if I'll be able to last longer than an hour, but we'll try. And yeah, I got some exciting stuff to share with you guys here in just a little bit. I'm feeling motivated, and anybody who knows anything about people with ADHD, you gotta capitalize on the motivation, otherwise it disappears. Y'all gotta see this. I just went to put the bucket underneath the fruit tree. Cicadas, for reference of size, they're big and they're freaking everywhere. They are currently destroying my apple tree. We did not wrap it with tin foil in time. I hear you're supposed to wrap kind of the base of it with some tin foil and it helps to prevent them. They fly, so I don't know how that's supposed to help, but we might not get an apple harvest this year. By the way, using a broad fork with flip-flops is a terrible idea. Don't do it. See, the soil is nice and soft. It's just kind of compacted and hard to work with a rake. It's a decent workout. Not gonna lie. Yep. All right, let's get the drill. So with these trellises, I've kind of worked out that kind of my perfect spacing is every third vertical rung. So it makes it really easy on these trellises. We're just gonna do this one bed at a time. I'm doing some cherry tomatoes in this first bed because these will be the first ones to produce. So if I only get this bed finished today, we'll at least have something to show for it sooner. I just recorded all that and realized I didn't turn my microphone on. I'm not used to having to turn my microphone on. So this here is what I had originally intended to do or planned to do, hoped to do. I got it done and then it started to get cool and the humidity dropped. So I was able to get this bed and that bed done, both of them. And then I also broad forked and got the holes done for the peppers here. And those 3 beds here, I gave up on the broad fork because I was getting really tired and I just dug holes with the big giant auger drill. So I got the holes dug for both of these beds, ready to go, weather pending tonight and tomorrow. We're supposed to get a massive thunderstorm and I'm not sure how long it's supposed to last. So if the weather allows, tomorrow I will be out here doing more gardening because starting Monday, which is the day after tomorrow, it is absolute go time, which I will explain more on later because my battery's about to die and I don't have the battery to do it. We'll talk more about that later, but hubby and I decided not to purchase any of the sauce tomatoes like we had originally talked about related to what's coming up this week, but we have enough tomatoes and we'll have a few extras to plant this whole area. So we just decided not to purchase any tomatoes when we have enough to do it. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Oh buddy, was that thunderstorm fierce. Okay, I had a panic attack like a half an hour ago thinking that I can't specifically remember closing the bird feed barrel. It's closed. Think about it. We gotta feed all these guys, let them out of their cages, and then I'm gonna go check on the garden and see how much damage was done. It was intense. Like, I got woken up 3 separate times by 3 separate like government issued tornado warnings. And like the whole entire, well, they don't need food. And like the entire, what am I trying to say? The entire night, starting about 1 o'clock, it sounded like it was raining so hard. It was, I don't even know, it was like a lion roar all night long. It was intense. So I'm a little bit, okay, a little bit is an understatement. I am a bit worried about the tomatoes that we planted yesterday. If I had known the thunderstorm would be that bad, I would not have planted them. And now that the garden is basically planted, at least a good chunk of it, I need to stop free ranging my birds because they will wreak havoc in there. We haven't been intentionally free ranging them because we have a lot of aerial predators and a lot of predators in general and they get picked off. So we have to kind of keep them caged up, but they have figured out how to get out. And we haven't figured out how yet. So that's on the list, but I'm going to try and keep them penned up today. We'll see how it goes. The first way that they were able to get out before, and I figured it out, when we opened this little side door, it would rest up against the fence and they would jump up onto the door and then jump out. But once I figured that out, we started opening this. Only a couple were able to figure it out. And then recently, more than a couple. What are you guys doing? Basically what I need to do is find my trail cam and set it up out here. The only problem with the trail cam is that it is motion activated. There's always action in a chicken yard. So It's a very low quality trail cam, so there's no like fast forward. So you have to watch the whole darn thing. So, and without I could like point it at some place if I knew where they were getting out, but I don't, so I can't. But my news for today that I was talking about yesterday is I got my meeting with the health department, the one where they were going to review my HACCP plans and kind of give me their notes and let me know kind of what I need to do to move forward with the fermentation business. It went very well. I really like the lady that is working on my case. I feel like we just kind of vibed together, and she's super cool, incredibly helpful. She made me feel like she actually cares about my success. So I thought that was really cool. At any rate, one of the things that I have to do is make one of each recipe in their full batch and get a sample of them tested in a lab. I don't have any samples ready because they have to be like exact. Oh, no way. How did they survive that? That was some intense rain. Wow. Every single one is just fine. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I was nervous about that last night leading into this morning. The batches that I make are 3-gallon batches. Well, I mean, the crock itself is 3 gallons, so it's probably like 2.5 gallon batches. They are 31 pounds each. It's a lot of cabbage. So I don't have enough crocks to be able to pull this off by the end of the summer. Like if I just ferment, because I have 3 crocks. So if I just ferment 3 at a time, it's a 3-week fermentation. I will maybe be done by the end of summer. But if I purchase 3 more crocks, I can get it done in 2 different batches. And it usually takes me about a day to finish 3 crocks. So basically this coming week is going to be very busy for me. I have an entire day that I have to devote to kombucha. It takes 1 day to process a week's worth of kombucha, and then 2 days to process those 6 crocks, which hopefully are even available for me to purchase. I'm just hoping, because last time I went, they were out. They said give them a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks. So hopefully they'll have 3 of them in stock and I can get them. But this process, on the very light end, I kind of figured out everything that I need to purchase. We're going to be getting a pallet of jars, a pallet of bottles, all the lids to go along with it, 3 fermentation crocks, a couple more kombucha carboys, the whole list of things. On the light end is $5,500. So we're not spending any money that is not absolutely necessary. We have a pantry to kind of carry us through this whole process. And hubby and I kind of talked about the whole process and kind of what it's going to look like, because hopefully someday he'll be able to join me in this business venture. But for now, he works full time. His days off don't usually line up with the days that I'm able to get into the commercial kitchen. So if I'm like in desperate need of help and we can figure out how to get our schedules to align, he's more than willing to help me out, because he knows that that is the future and he's actually looking forward to it. We had like a long conversation after the meeting, and he actually seems kind of excited about the prospect of it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. That'll expand all the options. It'll make it so that we can sell at more markets. And we really don't know how long that process is going to take. It's really anyone's guess. But what I do have to do is get everything tested in an approved lab. There's only one approved lab within driving distance. The health department gal told me to call right away and get on the books, because most labs have a backlog and you kind of have to get on their waiting list. So I did that on Friday. I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of stuff that needs to be done in order for this to be pulled off, but I'm enjoying the process. It's almost like I don't know, like it's pushing my abilities, and it's kind of making me plan, and it's making me follow up with people, and it's making me do things that don't come naturally to me. So I definitely appreciate that a lot, because it is an area of myself that I do need to grow in. But like, I'm keeping track of everything, and I'm writing down when I call, who I call, and whether I need to follow up or not. And like, I'm actually looking back and making sure I did. Like, I have to arrange testing with the labs. I have to find wholesale produce vendors. I've already called them, and I know I need to follow up, and labels and bottles and jars, and you got to get all this stuff at a reasonable price so that the end price is not ridiculously expensive. And then you have to track everything to make sure that the price that you're charging actually allows for a profit, and not just a profit for me making them, but like a profit to where it's possible to be scaled. So maybe someday I could hire employees and actually be able to pay them a nice salary, or not salary, but a nice, wage. So like there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. And this might seem like not a big deal to most people, but to my messed up ADHD brain, actually following through with all of this stuff and keeping up with it and maintaining through adversity is very difficult for me. Usually at this point, I would have given up. And I kind of did for a month or two. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to give up. This is something I want to do. This is something that is possible to do. This is something that with time could afford hubby and I to like work together and make enough to be able to support our household. So I mean, that would be really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. So I just wanted to update you guys because I kind of brought you along for the journey, and I figured I would continue to bring you guys along for the journey. I'm not going to cover all of that in this particular video. I'm planning on, I don't know, I'll just bring you along for the process in future videos. This week is going to be insane, and I'm going to try and film it to the best I can because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be bought. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be made, and there's a lot of time that needs to be spent doing it all. So that's going to be in the following video. Oh, I just stepped on a cicada. They make a squishy sound. I am not entirely sure that the garden is able to be worked today. I'm going to give it a few hours. It seems that the rain is gone according to both of my weather apps. The rain is finished for the day. So we'll kind of let it dry out. It's not sunny, and it is not expected to be sunny until tomorrow. So I hope that you guys are going to enjoy coming along for the process. You'll kind of get to see as my business kind of grows and expands, and hopefully by the end of summer, those of you that want to purchase my ferments will be able to, because I've discovered the only difference between the clearance that I am aiming for now versus being able to sell wholesale and online is an inspection by the state. All the other processes for the most part are identical. So all it takes is an extra inspection. So once I do get the approval that I'm seeking right now, it should be a hop, skip, and a jump to be able to sell online sales. I already got a website, I got a new business name, and I'll share it with you guys once that business name is official and all of the things are settled. Thanks for joining me in the garden today. If you want to see what we did last time, check out this video right here. That'll answer all your questions and fill you in on all the gaps. Peace out, sauerkraut.